This is Phil. I'm here at Sanibel Island. As you can see, the lighthouse right there behind me. I'm out here for business, so I decided I'd bring my bike along, go see the Ding Darling Wildlife Nature Conservatory, whatever it is deal. So I'm going to go check it out, but right now I just figured I'd stop by the lighthouse, show you guys how cool that looks. It looks cool. Here we go. Alright, adventurers, we have made it to the Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. As you can see on the island, it takes up that much space. So I'm going to go from here to there, which is, that's a mile. So like 3 or 4. Not too bad, but should be kind of awesome. Hopefully see some wildlife and let you know what's going on. Alright, Florida Adventurers, so we are on the trail. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. This is one of the bumpier roads I've pretty much ever been on, but it's pretty awesome. So I've been checking it out. I've seen some mullet and some stuff, a couple of raccoons here and there, but I mean, I'm hoping to see like, some horseshoe crabs and things you don't normally see every day. This is one of the best birding trails, supposedly in Florida, and especially in this area. So I'm going to check, speaking of which, there's this guy. Look at him. What's up, dude? Alright, so like I was saying, I mean, this is obviously, this is a pretty good birding trail, and these guys are all over the place. So this might be a little mean, but it's kind of funny to me. I like to stop at all these random little pools and have nothing in them and sit there and pretend that there is something there, so that when the tourists that are behind me come up in their Jeep, they all stop and get out and they look for about 5-10 minutes, and I go on ahead. Make it nice and peaceful. Feel like I'm alone. It's awesome. Alright, Florida Adventurers, so we're here in the shallows next to the red mangroves. As you can see behind me, all shallows, nurseries, feeding grounds for all types of fish and wildlife in this area. I've seen a couple of some striped fish I haven't identified yet, a ton of mullet, which are, as you know, pretty common here in Florida, and also some red snappers were swimming by a minute ago, just right here in the shallows. So really awesome. I can see them pretty well. I've got my polarized lenses and all that, but unfortunately my camera does not, so whenever I try to video them, all you get is glare off the water. But just imagine, they're there, because they are. Beautiful. Gotta love it. Alright, Florida Adventurers, we didn't get too far before we noticed one of these little mangrove crabs hanging out up here. And he's just kind of climbing over my head as I walk through, and figured I'd show you one of him. These guys are all over the place. There's one right over there. Oh, he just went away, hiding back in there. Now these guys are pretty cool. You can see they kind of just walk around and do their thing as they hunt and as they look for food. So he's just chilling again. As you get close to them, a lot of times they like to scurry around the tree and get away from you. So there you go. So these are the red mangroves. These are pretty awesome. The roots actually are a habitat for a lot of different species. You know, one of the best parts for me about mangroves, especially in this part of Florida, is in certain parts they're actually nurseries for my favorite animal, the shark. Many times there are lemon sharks, dogfish, bonnet heads, you know, which are small little hammerhead guys. All types of baby sharks will actually live in the mangroves. The babies will live amongst these mangroves eating tiny fish until they're big enough to get out into the open water, which is usually about 2 years. So I'm always keeping an eye out to see little baby fin, see my favorite animal. Because all these other animals are cool, but they're not sharks. Oh, it looks like I have hit the end of the bike portion of this path, because that's where the path ends. This is called speed sighting. I made it up just now. So I ride as fast as I can and sight stuff. There's a tree. There's a tree. There's some rocks. There's some more rocks. Not seeing any water. There's some poop. Means there's animals. This is pretty fun. And I'm getting some cardio. And I'm gonna have more time in my day. I'm just kidding. It's just a really boring stretch where there's not really anything. So I'm speeding up till I get back to the good stuff. All right, adventurers, so we have made it to the observation tower. It's kind of cool. Really, really beautiful stuff back here, as you can see. You can see most of the island, all the way to the side. Really pretty stuff. So I'm gonna head on back down though and continue biking. See if there's anything else I can see.
Are you gonna eat that crab? I can have that. All right.
adventurers, we are now headed out to the Calusa shell mound. You see this kind of stuff here, and just kind of see exactly what the shell deal is. Learning about the awesomeness of sediment that's underneath Florida, makes up the ground we walk on, sleep on, camp on, live on, poop on, whatever you do. So we're gonna go learn about beef. We're gonna go learn about that and see what there is to know. Sharks are awesome. That was kind of neat. It had nothing to do with what I thought it did. It was all about really cool stuff. Here's all the Indian stuff you can learn about, which is pretty neat. That's the shell thing right there. It talks about all the stuff that's under Florida and what makes up the ground we walk on. The rest of it was all just talking about just cool stuff, just trees and things to learn about and all that jazz. So definitely pretty awesome. I learned some stuff, read some signs. So I'm now at the end of the path for the Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. Had to read the sign. This is my last chance to see an alligator, and crikey, I want to see one. Pretty sure I'm not going to though. Yeah, there's nobody home. Not that I don't see alligators enough at back home, you know, at all of the ponds and rivers and swimming pools and every other body of water in central Tampa, Florida, whatever area, but I'd like to see one out here. I think it'd be neat. There's a fish. Oh well, let's go.